Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on the Vanilla Empire Plus server. Now, in today's episode, the main thing I want to work on is the tavern. Now, I plan on building this like we talked about last time. I want it to be sort of a four-way building, jutting out four ways and meeting at a single point in the middle. Having one way going down south here, one going west, meeting up almost here, or like almost parallel to this building we built last episode, and then another way east and another way north. Now this will help it, like in my vision that I'm having, right, in my big brain, this should help to kind of make a blueprint for where I want more paths to go, because I want this to be a bustling village at some point, where there's paths connecting all the different buildings and having just a general, like, lively town. So I think having a sort of guideline for where I need more paths to be will help it to achieve that sort of alive atmosphere. Okay, so the first steps that I want to take today is laying out an outline, and kind of just a base for where I want it to go exactly. I want the front. Well, technically, there's going to be four fronts, but I want the south-facing one to be right about here, where it's leveled up onto whatever Y level this is. This is Y67. I want it to be on 67. For pretty much the whole thing. If it needs to go up a little bit there or there on the other sides, then so be it. But I want it to, yeah, meet at a certain point in the middle, mark where that is, and have a guideline of where I should start making pillars and outlining a roof. Oh, something I forgot to mention. I have worked on the paths off camera. Just a little bit, but I connected all the holes I dug and filled them in, so now every build we've made so far is connected in some way. I have cool plans for these buildings, which will probably be the main focus of the next episode. But now to decide what block palette I want to use for the tavern. I think I want to do this style again. I haven't built in this style in a long time, and I kind of want to bring it back. I'm thinking one of these type builds here, maybe one of those style builds here, and then one of those style builds here. That's my thought process. So I had to dig away a little portion for it to be all on the same level. And look how much grass I got from just this one little portion. So I'm gonna take a little pause on the tavern, and I'm gonna go fill in and do some much needed terraforming over here in our claim, particularly where there is like a cave that needs to be covered still. But I'll put it in time lapse, and here we go. I don't know where this wandering trader came from, but he just appeared. So you already know I had to check out exactly what he had to buy. Okay, so back to working on the tavern. First thing I want to do is probably take these pillars up like 5 blocks. I think that's what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 5 blocks probably. And then maybe connect them. 5 or 6. I'm not exactly sure. I'll play with it. I'll see you when it's done. And with that, all right. So the outlines are done. I think it looks pretty good. And then we'll have a. Okay, so the idea, right, is to take this roof design, the A-frame, which I went over how to make houses with A-frames in my previous video, so go check that one out if you haven't. Is to make 4 A-frames. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have them all go this far, right? And then have a big sort of almost circular structure going up, and then having a smaller little lookout area up here with a tiny tipped roof. I know it's kind of hard to explain. You'll see it come into fruition more as the video goes on, if it goes according to plan. But yeah, sorry if it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain it. So the next thing I want to do would be to have a little part where these connect, maybe like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then have this one go like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that'll be perfect. So I'm gonna carry that out on each of the sides. And that'll be the, what in the world? Okay, that'll be the base for the second higher up level, which we'll put the roof on. Let's put it on this side. 2, 3, 4. Same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lastly, boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not right. Maybe I accidentally did 5 on that one. But I do like the 5 more, so I'm gonna do that. Oh, okay. I figured out why this one was taller, and it's because I put this little thing here. But honestly, I like these ones more, so I'll just break this one probably. These little bits. And then add that, and that. Sure. But now, I'm not sure if I want to. I need to break that too. But I don't know if I want to connect them, or if I want to leave them like this. I'll connect them. I have indeed ran out of pale oak, so I do need to take a little side quest to the shopping district to collect some more. Okay, pale oak acquired. 9 stacks of it, but so I'm gonna keep filling in the frames here. I'll probably put some diagonal pillars on these cases, and then I'll go ahead and add the outline for the roof so we can start filling it in. Now again, I want to copy the. I want to not so much copy because it's not copying. I was the one who created it. But I want to use this color palette again, which that means the roof is again going to be spruce and the packed mud variants. Okay, so again, the roof is going to be 4 A-frames, like we built in the last video. So I'm going to start off with the full block, upside down stair, or the stair, upside down stair, and then full block, and then we just repeat that up to a point in the middle. Alright, and then once both sides get to the top, just place an upside down stair, and then a full block on the top. Sweet, and then that is the shape of the A-frame. It's going to go on the side, and then we'll carry this over to here, where we'll put, well, I might raise this up a bit, this middle section, because I did not expect the A-frame to be quite this tall. Yeah, so I'll lift this up like 3 blocks or so that the roof that goes on this part is completely elevated from this one. And now we repeat. So we go over to the new side, and do the same thing a bajillion times. Okay. So, the A-frames are done. And then, yeah, I had to raise this one up a lot more than I was expecting. I had to raise it up like, what, like 7 blocks or so? So that it can get over the top of the A-frame. Because the roof shape is not as steep as the A-frame, and I don't want this roof covering this roof. I want it to look like it is, kind of a, not a watchtower, but like kind of that sort of thing. But it will also help the tavern to have more space, so we can have multiple floors up here with tables and bars and people serving drinks. So yeah, I'm gonna put the roof on this one now, or the frame on it, I mean. And then we'll connect all of them and then start filling them in. Okay, with the frames in place, we're gonna go ahead and start filling this in. Like I said before, it's going to be the same design with the speckles of the packed mud and packed mud bricks on a spruce background. Okie dokie. That is not where I want that. Let me get it like boom, boom, up, 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 boom. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay. Yeah, that's looking exactly how I want it to. You see how if this part was lower down, then it would be behind this A-frame. But since I've raised it up, it's going to be on top of it, and it's going to be kind of overlooking it as like a watchtower kind of vibe. Alright, now that 2 of them are done, you can kind of see the shape I was going for. To where there's this section in the middle where we can do something really cool. Possibly like an archway kind of design. But it gives us a nice little canvas in the middle to give it more character in the roof and not just have plain flat roofs all the way around. Kind of like this one where it's a little like swirl. But yeah, it makes us, it gives us an extra palette for adding character to it. Alrighty, so the roof is now complete aside for this top bit. So I'm going to do that and then we'll start filling in the walls. This top bit is going to be the exact same palette as we had below. The exact same thing with the spruce and then mud bricks. We'll just do it on both sides. It's the same shape as this one. It's just it's less steep because it's less wide. Now, something I might want to try is sneaking in a window in this little bit, like maybe cutting out this and that. And like moving this one out to be a full block, full block, full block, and like full block. Yeah, that'll work. And then I can just go with a slab or something like there. That should work. Yeah, I like that. And then, like I said, we're just gonna repeat that on the other side. I'm contemplating if I want to have another window on the other side. To make it symmetrical. But really, I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. I want it to be like a little area up here. Maybe? No, it's probably too tight of a squeeze to have them actually functional. So we'll probably just do what we did here and here again. But yeah, I don't think I want it on the other side. I feel I like it the way it's really pointing towards this way as the entrance, and sort of this is the back of it, even though there is going to be another entrance here, one on each side. You know what? Maybe I should, because I'll put windows in these bits. No, wait. I'm trying to think. Because I don't know if I'm gonna have the ability to fit a window in here. But if I put a window in here, I'll put a window on this side because it's also gonna be one here, and I'm not gonna have it on 3 sides if I'm not gonna have it on 4, right? So if I put one in here, then I'll put one over here. But if I don't put them on these sides, then I'll just leave it in the front. Okay, but with that, the roof is now done. So the next thing I want to work on is starting to fit in the different walls and entryways, and coming up with a design for an entryway that I can copy to each side. Because all of these 4 entrances are going to be identical. Probably it's going to be symmetrical all the way around, aside for like different bushes and canisters and barrels and such. Those will probably be different, but the main design for the walls, I'm not going to do a gradient. I'm going to go back to this kind of design, are going to be symmetrical. Which does indeed mean we're going to need a lot more birch. So I'm going to look on Blue Map and see if I can find a birch forest where we can cut the whole thing down. Design-wise, for the inside, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Maybe like strips of the different kinds going up. That would look kind of cool, maybe? I don't know. I'll experiment with it. I think I like it when it's vertical better. This design is really appealing to me. Because then we can go in the middle here too and go like birch all the way up. There, and then there, and then strip these. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna look good. Yeah, because then if we put it on this side too, ooh, it's gonna look good. And then we can also go with a variation up there and go like oak here instead of the birch. Ooh, this is gonna look nice. Okay, I've got one side of it done with all of it, and I think this looks good. Yeah. This entrance should work out pretty good. Ooh, this is gonna look nice. Alright, so let me do all the other sides, and I'll check in with you once that is all filled in. Filled in all of the walls, and I've changed the design on these corners, and I've added like pillars of barrels, and I think it looks pretty cool. Only thing I'm not liking is when I go to fill in this top part, I feel like it contrasts too much with the roof, but it's too similar to this. So I think I want to introduce a new type of wood, being like dark oak over here. And I think that would add what this seems to be missing. Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe spruce that's stripped here, and then variate it with stripped dark oak, perhaps. Ooh, I think that'll look good. If I continue this up, go like 2 and then 2 this. Let me try now. Oh yeah, that's what I was missing for sure. For sure. And then when I put it on the other side too, yeah, for sure. That's what it was. That looks a lot better. It's gonna look sweet. Alrighty, so the little upper area over here all filled in. And I took out these support beams and just filled in the rest of it with the dark oak and the spruce. And I think I like that a lot more. It makes it look like it's like a second building kind of meshed into the top, which I'm pretty fond of. I feel like that gives it more of that tavern and inn kind of look that I'm going for. But now when I look at this, I'm like, why don't I use this color palette for the whole thing? It's really tempting, honestly. Like, I feel like that'd look really good. Oh gosh. No, because I want the separate color up there. So I'm gonna keep it the way it is. But now I'm gonna start working on some of the texturing out here and putting in wind. Well, no, well, hold on. Wait up, Biggie. I'm gonna fill in these giant chunks. I'm gonna create a design for this, and I'm gonna fill it in on each side. Now, I think I do want to use the spruce and dark oak for these spots. To kind of incorporate this into the other part instead of just having it a separate section. I want to have it transition up to it. Like the upper layers of the building have the spruce and the dark oak, and the lower layers have the oak and birch. Instead of, yeah, like I said, just a separate building in the middle. Now for these upper areas, I'm thinking I want like a circular kind of window in the middle. Because these ones, unlike most of my builds, these windows up here are actually going to be functional because these upper layers are going to be used for the tavern. They're going to be seats and tables and bars and different stuff. It's going to all be functional, which is nice, but it also means that I have to incorporate the outside part to the inside, which is why I want to try like a circular window, a bigger one that can kind of create sort of a scenic view of the inside to make it look like it's an establishment and not like a solitary home. So I'm going to try to copy my design for the upper bit, and we'll see how the spruce and dark oak looks with this upper portion. And then if it looks good, then I'll start drilling out, not drilling, but like cutting out where the windows are going to be, or the window singular. And then that'll also help when we start doing the inside, into where cutting off rooms are going to be, so that we know where to put the second floor level, where there's going to be the stairs and just all the different shenanigans. So I'm thinking for the window, maybe like these 3. No, it's too big. I'll play with it because it's just a strange shape and it's not even. So I don't know if a circular one's gonna work, but I'll try to fit in like a star. Oh wow, that is nasty. Good thing I didn't go downstairs. Anyways, that's beside the point. This is the design for the window I came up with. It's sort of like a circly star. Combine the two ideas, I guess. I feel like it looks good, and it provides a nice window to any guest sitting inside. It will also give us a nice outline for where the second floor will be. Not on this level, so I'll take out these little support beams. But on this level up here. Wait, no. It will be this level. Never mind. The support beams are right. I'm wrong. Oh, there's another one. Come out, Mr. Creeper. We don't want you in there anymore. Where did he go? Alrighty. These top sections are now completely filled in, and I have the windows on every one of them. I gotta say, this is looking good. This is looking really, really promising. Now that we have all the walls filled out, I want to start working on texturing, particularly this kind of texturing with the stairs and the fences and whatnot, and just smoothing out some of these rough 90-degree corners and edges and such. Okay, so I've got a varied assortment of stairs, and the plan is to just kind of whoopsies. To just put one in every corner or so, to round it off, similar to what I did here and what I did on the barn. I'll just put like one there, and a different one there, and then that side's done. I'll move along, put that one there, that one there, and then shabam, shabam. And then I'll just do that for the rest of the rest of the sides. And then I will get back to you when I'm finished. Okay, so all of the edges are smoothed out. So now the next part I want to do is probably punching in some windows here and there. Now, the problem with this is that the middle of this is not going to be the middle inside, right? So if I throw in a window here, right? It's not centered because this one is blocked by this, and the pillar on the left side here, this plank pillar, is not visible from inside because it's blocked by this one. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to approach windows in this case, because it's going to be a very interior heavy build compared to some of my other ones, where it's been kind of light. Not this one. This one is probably the best interior, my favorite interior I've done. But compared to like Hillbilly Tower, right? There's not much going on. It's just a ladder up to the armadillo in the roof, right? But I'll play with them. I'll figure out what I want to do exactly, some ways I can make it work and look cool, and I will get back to you. So I've been thinking over it a little bit, and I think what I want to do, really, like honestly, is just not put any windows in, because it throws off the whole balance of it. And usually in medieval taverns, anyways, you don't see windows, like, right? It's like more. It's also an inn of sorts, so there might be rooms and stuff, which means you don't want windows because it's all people trying to sleep, blah blah blah. It's a whole thing. But if you look at medieval taverns, especially the ones I'm inspired like by, it's kind of like say the Prancing Pony from Lord of the Rings, or there's the Drunken Huntsman, that's what it's called, from Skyrim. And none of those have windows, so I'm not gonna put any in. I'll figure out some way to texture the outsides or add some bits of functionality similar to the pipes over here and the blacksmith to kind of fill up that space and not make it look so flat and bland. Ooh, okay, I figured it out. So basically, I'm just gonna have a cross like this with spruce trapdoors on every single one of these ones. And then I'll throw in a couple of like tables and outdoor seating, maybe, and maybe like a sort of an overhang or some shade, different bits where people can sit down and eat outside instead of eating inside if they want to, and get drunk at the alleyways instead. I just got dive bombed. Holy cow! They came in through the rafters. Oh my goodness, I was looking at my phone and I pull up here and they're like spawning up here and dive bombing me. Goodness gracious. Anyways, I've completed the X's on all of these little bits and I am liking it. This is coming along pretty nicely. Next part I want to work on is probably these upper bits and this section right here. I'm gonna go around with some dark oak trapdoors probably. Surrounding some of these windows, and then maybe some signs to add a little more depth to this. Alright, so I've added a few details here and there, just around the windows and some buttons on this upper bit. I'm probably gonna put some signs here or something to add a little bit more depth to this upper portion. But I'm gonna focus on the floor now. I want to do kind of a spruce and then oak logs. They work nicely together. And then I've put them diagonally, horizontally, I mean, through the four different entrances, and then I'm gonna do like a little spiral pattern in the middle. But before we start the spiral, we need to fill in these areas on the corners. If you're curious why this hole is here and I'm not filling it in, it's because I'm going to bring the path up here and put stone here where the doors will be blocking the entrance. I plan on just surrounding this area in planks and then just kind of doing circles with each layer until it comes to a central point in the middle. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with the floor design, honestly. I like it a lot. It's different from what we've done before, and I feel like it provides a nice sort of business kind of feel. Whereas these rooms were all solid color and they were playing darker. This one was like deep slate, very dark. This one's a little bit brighter and it's more welcoming, as in this is like a bustling place. It's also, the pattern is more centralized, where it's more moving around, instead of like just a walkway where everybody can walk around anywhere, and it's a bustling tavern, and we can have different. I plan to have like a central bar area in the middle, probably. Maybe throw a villager in there, and then tables throughout this thing, walk-ins, bar. Actually, no. I plan on having. Sorry, I'm contradicting myself a lot while I'm speaking. I plan on having a bunch of tables and stuff in the middle. Okay. I plan on having 1 or 2 bar stations, like here against the wall, here against the wall. Maybe some like storage or wine barrels here and here. And then upstairs we can have different more tables, more like full dining tables instead of just sit down and have a drink. And then up top here we can have like some little rooms and some cots and stuff. I feel like that'll look really cool. Okie dokie. So I changed some of the stuff with the buttons up here, and I turned it into signs to make it kind of look like there's wood wrapping around it. Just some more support. Also, it adds more depth to make sure that you know that's the supporting pillar, and then this is the wall behind it. And I did the same thing with these barrels down here, added more depth, made it look like they were connected more. And wow, this is coming along very, very nicely, guys. Holy cannoli. The hardest part left is probably going to be dividing up the top and making it, making you not able to see the roof up here, which I might decide to use the same pattern with the packed mud as the ceiling in here, just so that I can use some of these roof areas as part of the ceiling. Again, that's another thing that I'll experiment with. But the next part that I want to do is these entrances. I'm thinking spruce trapdoors and spruce doors. Probably. Now that I'm here building it, I'm thinking that some trapdoor variation would go very nicely with this. I'm thinking throw those 2 dark oak ones in, and then... Oh, it's not going to work when they're in. But yeah, just adds just a little more character to the build, and I think it looks really, really good. And then the last little bit I want to add to the exterior would be a little overhang with a hanging sign that says the name of the pub or tavern, so you know what kind of business it is. Because it's not just gonna be a business in a building. It's got to have some kind of sign, you know. Like the Prancing Pony has that pony sign. I was thinking I would do them similar to this one that I had for the blacksmith. Just thinner beams, obviously, because I'm not gonna stick those ones in the middle of the main street. Now that I'm thinking about it, however, I think I only want to have that in this side and this side. And then these other two we can do uniquely, and then maybe have, yeah, some patio area right here, maybe a custom tree here, some storage area over here, and just make each side unique in its own way. I've been playing around with a design for an overhang, and I've come to this one, and I think I like it a lot. The problem with like using the campfires is that you get these little gaps in between, which they can't really be filled that well, unless you put full blocks in, which it just makes it look awkward and bad. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. But yeah, I think I really like it. It provides a nice pathway, and it's very welcoming. Now, if I really don't think I want to do it on this side. Now that I'm realizing it, though, I think I want to do something different here to kind of entice you to come in. Maybe like a path with little lanterns on it or something? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Again, I will play around with it, and I'll see you when it's done. Ran out of spruce again, so back to the shopping district we go. To the Emporium. Now, where's the spruce? There's the spruce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be plenty. Okay, so I've got some designs for this side and that side. I've decided to name it Anji's Tavern. I don't really know why, but I think it sounds good. We can maybe have a villager in there named Anji. But I'm gonna leave these other two sides blank for now, especially because we don't have like a road that would connect to it yet. Especially this back one. I don't know exactly what we'll want to do with this. Maybe the next build we'll make will be here, and that's when we connect it. But for now, I'm gonna stop detailing the exterior. And I'm gonna start working on some of these windows and dividing up the interior. For the interior, I want to close off this top bit just at the very top, and then I want to have a big chandelier coming all the way down to about here, and then I want to have an upper layer with some railings around, so the chandelier can still come down and it can overlook this ground floor. Staircase wise, I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it. Possibly on one of these two more minor entrances, or wrapped around one of these corners. Maybe like here would be good. And then have it go around, yeah, up this corner, under this beam, and then pop out right there in front of this window would be kind of cool. But before we even talk about the staircase, we've got to actually add the second floor itself. So I am going to repeat this design on the second. Whoa, that lag was crazy. I'm gonna repeat this second design, or this first design. Sorry, English is hard for me right now. Repeat this design on the second floor. I'm gonna cut out these beams. I don't think they look that great, and they'll kind of mess with the design of the second floor if I keep them here. And then again, I will copy this on there, and then I'll add a staircase and cut out the middle section where the chandelier is going to go. So after some further thought, I think I want to actually make these windows a little bit smaller, make them less rounded, like take off this part and put it up one. So then we can also put like some flowers or bushes right here to add some greenery to it, because right now that's the main thing that's making it look so bland, is that there's literally no greenery whatsoever. This is more of what I was trying to go for. So now we can put some flowers or something in here. Maybe some tall grass, or actually, I'll put some of the new bushes right here too. But then it'll give us a little canvas or some more greenery to add to the build, and I feel like it should make it come together a lot better. Just like this one, it just looks kind of bland, you know. So the second floor is done. I've been trying to fit in a staircase, and I can't seem to find a good spot for one. I've tried the corners, they won't work. I've tried tucking it in on one of these walls, doesn't work. I'm kind of stumped. I don't know where I would put it in. And I'm not gonna do a ladder. At least I don't want to do a ladder. Gosh. Maybe I can try to wind it around one of these doors? Gosh, I'm really stumped here. Alright, so after experimenting a little bit, I've come up with this. I think it looks pretty good. I might swap out these signs for dark oak in the future. I'm not 100% sure. But it gets us up, and it doesn't provide like a bump. A lot of the time where I put staircases, it'll come up directly onto a wall, and it'll be kind of a tight corner. This one doesn't, and I really like that, because it provides a nice, smooth transition into the next floor. Now, the biggest thing we still have yet to do is to close off this area up here and start working on the chandelier. How I want to do this exactly? I don't know. I'll probably just fill it in with spruce or dark oak. Let me think on it. Ooh, yeah, it took a minute. Alright, sorry I had to cut that out. This video is getting kind of long, so I'm trying to chop it up a little bit. But the chandelier is done. I feel like it looks really, really good. It's a little smaller than I originally anticipated it being, but I think that really works, and it gives us a lot of space down there to do whatever you want. And yeah, I really like this, man. I think what I want to do next, fill in the windows. I'll probably just put scaffolding in them. And then start working on some tables and different stuff in here, which I will do the detailing the interior on stream probably, because I also want to put some usable chairs in here with mine carts and put some villagers or something in here to make it feel more alive and active, but that'll just take too long, so I'll have to cut out the video. I'll do that on stream. Tune into stream if you see me on. You should join. I'll stream every now and then if I need to. But anyways, I'm gonna do the windows, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of searching for the new barrel this week, and then I am gonna wrap it up. Okay, here we are at the shopping district. Now, the hint for this week's box says that it's hidden in a place that is underappreciated, but used pretty much throughout the entirety of the never-ending game. So I have a couple ideas, right? It could be our chicken shop with food, because you need food throughout the entire game. It could be wood in the Emporium, because you need wood throughout the whole game. And it could be the forge, because you need iron throughout the whole game. Now, the place I think it is the least likely to be is in here, in the chicken shop, because I built this and I know it better than anyone. Yet I've looked here for a decent amount of time and I can't seem to find anything. I was thinking, oh, it might be in the bathroom. Nope, nothing in here. Upstairs, there doesn't seem to be anything either, because I haven't actually put anything up here yet. And then there doesn't seem to be anything outside either. So I'm not sure. Like, all of these wood, the wool bits are covering fences, but they're not covering any barrels. So yeah, I don't think it's in the chicken shop. Now, one that I do think it could be in would be the forge. Now, I thought one was in the forge earlier, an earlier box. But it was not, so I know all the good hiding spots that they could put it in here. So I'm gonna check those. But really, I am not seeing much. There's not a lot of good spots inside. There is a couple good ones outside, But again, I've checked through those and I haven't found anything. These barrels have been there. I doubt they're gonna put it in just a barrel that's already existed. I'm pretty sure they place new barrels. Let's check under all these trapdoors. You can never be too careful. And this is where we thought it was prior. Was it in this little gap? But again, nothing in there. So I don't know. I'm pretty stumped, man. So moving on from the forge, I'm gonna check the Emporium. Here, it has a lot of spots that it could be hidden. I'm gonna start from the outside in, though. Especially because there's a lot of trapdoors used. Which means there's a lot of places to hide a barrel. Good thing about this, though, is that with vanilla tweaks, you can kind of see under the trapdoors because they're 3D. So for this one, you can already see what blocks behind it. Say if we go to a prior one, like over here, you can see this one's behind stone, this one's in front of stone. This one is not in front of stone. This one is in front of a barrel, right? So I'm going to try to use that to my advantage and see if I can locate one around the Emporium. I was not seeing anything on the outside, so I'm going to start checking the inside. Here, again, there's a lot of spots they could put it. However, there is also a lot of spots they could put it, which it is not, which makes me hesitant to think it's even in here in the first place. Alright guys, I've been looking for about 10 minutes or so, and I can say I am not seeing anything. And I'm not going to waste your time just running in circles. So, with that, we're going to wrap up this episode. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any ideas on something I can add to my base, or where this stinking barrel might be, please let me know down in the comments. And with that, I thank you for watching, and goodbye.